In order for me to be happy, I have to love myself. In order to be able to be free from being a burden to somebody else, I have to know how to enjoy my life. If I know how to enjoy my life, it means that I am loving the life that I'm having, and that means I'm loving the body that I'm in. I'm loving the self that I am. And therefore, you will not be a burden to anybody else. The person who loves themselves is never a burden to anyone else unless it's conceit. And conceit is just another form of trying to get other people to pay more attention to you. But if it's just authentic self-acceptance, then it is the most important thing that you can do. And in raising children, nothing is more important in the whole educational environment than self-concept, self-esteem. This is what we're trying to teach all the time to young people, is feel good about yourself. Treat yourself, cherish yourself as a valuable, important, significant, grand, divine creature, as someone who is unique and special in all the world. And feel that way about yourself wherever you go, and carry yourself that way. Because the minute that you start practicing self-rejection, and self-rejection shows its ugly head in a lot of ways. You can reject compliments that are directed at you. Oh, this old thing, I'm really not very smart, I'm just real lucky, I guess. I mean, it's that whole kind of condescending, always putting yourself down. Someone says, gee, you look really nice today. No, I don't really look nice. This is just a facade. This isn't the real me. You can make up excuses for why you look nice. It's my hairdresser, she does it for me. Or it's the wardrobe, or it's the color that I'm wearing. It isn't really me. You can give credit to other people all the time and not take credit for yourself. Whenever somebody says something to you, you can experience self-rejection by saying things like, well, my husband feels this way, or my mother always said. In other words, putting the emphasis for your life on other people and other events and other things in your life. You can always be verifying your opinions for other people. If someone says something to you, your response can be, well, isn't that right, George? George, tell him that this is what I mean. That's a form of self-rejection. You might be in a restaurant and refuse to order something that you want because you don't think that you're worth it. So you look for the cheapest thing on the menu. A very typical kind of self-rejecting kind of attitude. You cannot buy yourself something, even though you might have the money, because you don't think that you're worth it. I've seen many times on airplanes where someone will refuse to have a little glass of wine with their meal because they don't feel that they should spend $3 on themselves. So they put the $3 away and don't feel that they are important enough to have that. You can avoid indulgences and doing nice things for yourself, not because of finances here, but because you just don't feel that it's worth it. You certainly shouldn't have flowers around. I mean, you're not important enough to have flowers. Other people get flowers, but certainly not you. Anyway, these kinds of self-rejection attitudes start out very young in your life, and in fact you may have been carrying them around for an entire lifetime. It isn't to say that they didn't happen to you and haven't been going on in your life since you were a little boy or a little girl, but the fact is that you have to still understand that life is a choice, and that if you want to improve your self-esteem and you want to improve your life, it starts with saying to yourself, I have been buying into this all of my life.